Sky in Germany reporting that Borussia Dortmund have sacked their head coach, Nuri Sarin, after just 7 months in charge.
Yeah, it was coming this, you felt, wasn't it? Final game, it looks like it was that 2-1 defeat to Bologna in the Champions League last night. Bologna hadn't won in the competition at all this season until last night. Yeah. Well, one of the reported candidates to replace Sarin is former Manchester United manager Erik Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Ten Hag, one of a number of candidates discussed by Dortmund. That's according to Sky in Germany. Ten Hag was sacked by Manchester United in October, but is thought to be open to this opportunity. What could the sacking of Sarin mean for Marcus Rashford as well? Earlier this week, Dortmund inquired about the terms of a possible loan for the Manchester United forward. If Ten Hag goes there, can't imagine Rashford would.
I think he'll be swerving along to Barcelona instead, maybe. Who knows? Who knows? And what a treat we've got now as well. We keep delivering the goods, don't we? Champions League with Dougie Critchley here with us.
You
Goodness
said there was
me.
going to be good games last night, mate.
You did. But there's been big news today, because before we get to the action, the talking points, get your thoughts, I guess, on the news. Nuri Sahin's been sacked by Borussia Dortmund. Was it expected? It was almost, we were sort of just waiting for that next defeat, really, weren't we? 7 months in charge. He looks to be going out. Who may be being linked with coming in?
Yeah, well, we've gone from a misty Modena, and it's been pretty murky at Borussia Dortmund for a while now. They are 10th in the Bundesliga. They've lost their last 3 in the Bundesliga, not just to the likes of Bayer Leverkusen and Frankfurt, who are having great seasons, but also Holstein Kiel, away from home 4-2, and then last night throw away a 1-0 lead to lose to Bologna, who hadn't won a game going into that game. So it really has been a bit of a mess at Dortmund, but this has been happening for years and years now. So since December 2020, they've been through 5 managers. They went through Lucien Favre, then Edin Terzic, who had never managed previously in any other club, then Marco Rose. They only gave him 1 season, despite the fact they finished second. They scored the most goals in their Bundesliga history. They then bring back Edin Terzic, finished 5th in the Bundesliga last year, but reached the Champions League final. Still, they decide to get rid of him, and they bring in Nuri Sarin, whose previous job had been in charge of Antalyaspor in Turkey. And the squad has just been left to meander for so long. They've consistently sold their best players. It's always been the club's strategy, but whereas in the days of Pulisic, Aubameyang and Dembele, there was a progression of players that came through. Now with Sancho and Haaland and Bellingham and Royce leaving in the summer, they just haven't replaced with a similar sort of quality. So I think Nuri Sarin was slightly hung out to dry by the board. In terms of who could come in, there's been speculation that Erik Ten Hag will get potentially in the mix there for the Borussia Dortmund job. I think given the fact that they've really lacked a lot of structure this season, that they've struggled to stem the flow of counter-attacks on that slightly leaky defence, Erik Ten Hag feels like a slight risk, although his reputation is much higher outside of the UK than it is inside the UK after that spell with Man United, obviously leading them to their previous worst ever Premier League season last year. Looks like Ruben Amorim and half of Ten Hag this year might top that this year. So Erik Ten Hag's a potential candidate. I wonder whether they consider looking at someone like Andoni Iraola. Plays a very similar style to Borussia Dortmund at their very best under Jurgen Klopp, doing great things with Bournemouth, although I'm sure no Bournemouth fan will thank me for
We heard
him.
a big boo and an ah in the gallery, didn't we, there?
Well, he's done an incredible job, Iraola. I tell you what, there'll be a queue a mile long.
Oh my gosh.
Almost as long as people trying to catch a glimpse of Lewis Hamilton if Iraola's available.